In this box are 47 cards that I spent $2,613.22 on, including shipping, from CardHobby, and then just got it shipped to myself through their overseas warehouse. I thought it'd be fun to track this process, seeing what I'm doing with each of them. Most of these I'm probably going to put up onto eBay. I might send some off to ComC, I might send some off to grading, we'll see. But I kind of want to track and see how long it takes me to make back the money from this, and eventually how much I actually make in total profit from this. I thought this would be kind of fun to track one package to see what happens. I get packages kind of like this every once in a while, depending on how much time I'm spending in the hobby is kind of how frequent I'll do this. So if I have less time in the hobby, I'll do this less frequent. But for my own knowledge, I want to kind of see like how much money are my efforts bringing in when I do this. The 47 cards that we're going to be focusing on here are a little bit higher end stuff than what I usually have gotten in the past and what you've usually seen, which should make for a fun video. There's some really cool cards in here. Just to let you know that the shipping cost, that cost is including the international shipping cost. This came across from China. I had to pay $75 to get this box shipped. And each of these also, I had originally paid some sort of domestic shipping fee in China for each of the cards, but that's all calculated in. And when I made my bids on the cards, I calculate that all in, expecting that cost to be there. So let's go through. There will be a couple of cards that I am not going to be calculating into this that are just for my PC. Just two of them. There's two Nick Van Exel auto cards. And there's also some packs that I bought that are just kind of loose packs that were a good deal. I'm not calculating that in. I'm not going to track those. Those I just got for fun. All right, so let's go ahead and just start digging in randomly to one of these. I'm excited about this video. I don't think you're as excited as me, but I'm excited. Most of these, if I had more time to dedicate to sports cards, I might spend more time selling on I don't know, Discord servers or whatever, but for now, it's mostly just eBay and ComC because I don't have so much time. Oh, like I was saying, these were really cheap. There's some Prism basketball cards. These ones I just got for myself. I'm going to open them. Maybe I'll have another video if that's interesting to you. But I'm not calculating those ones in. I don't calculate in when I buy packs or boxes because I never buy them thinking I'm going to make $1 on them. I mostly just buy them for fun. So it's just my personal thing. All right, here we go. You can already see off the bat how we're going to be getting some better cards than we oftentimes do. So when they're in these packages like this is how they were sent to the CardHobby warehouse originally. They usually put these tracker things on them. So if I had bought 2 or 3 or 4 or 10 cards from one seller, they would all usually be in one package, however the seller sent them, and then they would have this to kind of track it. So let's go. So we got a Kaboom. Actually Kabooms are, Kabooms of course, but in soccer they tend to be a little bit cheaper, but they still have a wide audience. A lot of these ones I'm going to have to take a closer look at later to see if I want to get them graded or anything like that. It's a little hard to tell just on first glance, and also making sure that you can see things okay. You can also see, the fact that there's only 47 cards that I spent $2,613. The average price per card, maybe I can put that up on screen if I just do the math real quick, is much higher than usual with this particular batch. So there's going to be some cool stuff. There's a couple of Paulo Banchero cards. This is new R99 patch card, numbered out of 99, and a Banchero numbered out of 199 from Hoops. Very cool. I like Denny. This is a case hit card. He's on my Blazers. I'm probably still going to flip that one. I was considering keeping it just because he's on my Blazers now. This is a Chet Holmgren rookie out of 30. Green parallel. That's cool. A bunch of them in here. You can see the top card there is a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar autograph card, which is pretty cool. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar auto. Championship signatures. Peyton Pritchard. Oh, it's kind of falling out a little bit on top. It looks like it's okay, though. This is numbered out of just 5. I think this is the gold parallel from his rookie year as well. Here's another Peyton Pritchard auto, rookie auto. Rookie signatures numbered out of 99. On-card auto. That's beautiful. It's a really nice looking card. And look at this thing. This is a Kobe Bryant glass card. That is so cool looking. Gosh, I want to take this out, look at it a little closer. Pretty heavy. That is cool. Gosh, for somebody's PC, that is going to be like their favorite card. If I was a Kobe collector, oh, I gotta put it in there so carefully. I don't know if it's more fragile than other cards or not, but it feels like it is. It feels like it should be, so I got to be extra careful with that one. You can see these cards are pretty cool. There's some cool cards. Rookie patch auto, Jalen Green from Obsidian. That one's numbered out of something. Numbered out of 25, yep. Paul Gasol. Global Icons auto. Numbered out of 10. Oh, these are definitely the best cards I've ordered from CardHobby yet, as far as the batch itself, for sure. For sure. I think part of the reason I'm doing it that way is, you know, I'm spending maybe a similar amount of money, but for a less number of cards in this particular shipment. And part of the reason I'm doing that is just because I'm slowing down on the amount of time I have for sports cards. So I'm kind of like upping the money per card that I'm spending, not doing quantity now, but doing quality. I think before I was doing a lot more quantity over quality, but just have a lot less time I'm spending on it now. So doing quality over quantity to be able to try to make higher profit margins per card on the cards I'm trying to flip. This is pretty cool. Barry Larkin, auto, on card, numbered out of 18 with, is that wood? From an actor, I'll have to look at it later, but that's pretty cool. You know, baseball, football, there's not that many available on CardHobby. It's a lot of basketball, a lot of soccer, and I don't get too much soccer except for some of the well-known cards like the Kabooms and stuff like that. There is, that being said, the most expensive card in this batch, which I spent almost, maybe like a fifth of the whole price, was on one particular card that we'll eventually come to that actually was a soccer card. Here is a Anthony Simons auto on card, not on card, sticker auto, numbered out of 75 from Immaculate. Not his rookie year. That one was actually really cheap. I can't remember exactly what I paid. This is the Swirlorama rookie of Joel Embiid. I don't know this grading company. Sometimes when you order from CardHobby, you'll get like small grading companies in China. There's a few of them that I know and that I know to be quite reputable. GBTC is one that, you know, I think is actually a really good grading company. This one I have never heard of. There's a lot of small ones there. So, you know, I would sell this one like it was raw, basically. Maybe I'll crack it, but I don't know. I'll probably just sell it in that, but for a raw price. Dave Bing, you know, sometimes I'm not sure if I'm going to keep cards for my PC or not. Like, I do have a PC of Hall of Fame autos, and I can't remember if I have a Dave Bing in there or not. For now, I'm going to keep this one calculated in, like I'm going to flip it, but I'm going to look, there's a chance I'll keep that one for my PC, in which case I would take it off of my overarching cost, because, you know, I don't want to put into what I'm going to keep for myself as part of the overall equation. Keontae George, rookie patch auto from Select. That's cool. Here is a patch auto of Isaiah Thomas, numbered out of 99 from Panini 1-in-1. It's pretty cool. He's got a cool looking auto on card. Nice looking. And another card like this. This is the David Justice. So these last several cards were all from one batch. So this is, again, on card auto. Cool looking auto. Has a patch, another patch over there, and then something from a baseball bat. And numbered out of 9. That's cool. That's really cool. For a Dave Justice collector, that would be one of their best cards, I bet. I mean, that's really cool. These cards are so cool. So much better than what I usually get. Some more cool stuff coming. A Kaboom. Anwar El Ghazi. I don't know soccer that well. I just know Kabooms are cool. There's 2 cards in here. Jalen Johnson, I was trying to aim for him a little bit, actually, but it seems like a lot of people were. So most of his cards were going for too high. But this one slipped through the cracks a little bit. Rookie. I think it's numbered out of, there's a number underneath there. I can't recall off the bat. I think it's out of 75. I don't remember for sure, though. This is cool. Kobe Bryant patch card. Gold standard. It's got a nice looking sheen to it. This one's numbered out of 199. That's cool. Gosh, some of these I want to keep. So night moves, this little batch here, 2 of them. These night moves are also case hits. So this is a Messi, and then a Luis Diaz. I don't know who Luis Diaz is, but I bought these from the same seller, and this one was just very cheap, and it's a case hit, so mostly I was going for this Messi one. Look at that one. That's cool. Color Blast of Zach Edey. That's pretty cool. I'm an Edey fan. He's cool. I like him. It's another Jalen Johnson. A few cards in here. We got a rookie auto from Donruss Elite of Jalen Johnson. I think this is the Asia Red, so it's unnumbered, but it is a parallel. Sophomore Contenders Jalen Johnson auto. And this one's cool. Exosphere. I think this is also an SSP case hit type of card, I think. This is some sort of parallel of it. I don't remember, I think. But this is awesome. I don't like Flux, but I really like these Exosphere and cards in this style. There's a few other ones that have a similar look. Thermosphere, Mesosphere, Stratosphere, Trophosphere, and Exosphere. I think Exosphere might be the more rare of the bunch. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm speaking things I don't know, but another Kaboom. Don't know who that is, but almost any Kaboom I'll take a look at and spend up to a certain amount of comps. This is for my PC, so I'm not calculating this one in for the whole thing. This is cool. This is Nick Van Exel. I have a collection of him from my childhood, and then more recently I've been getting different auto cards. Sometimes I'll get ones that I want to keep, and then sometimes, you know, I end up flipping them. This one I've decided I'm going to keep. I really do like it more than a lot of the other ones. The on-card auto is a big reason for that. It just has a nice look to it, so I'm going to keep that one. I don't know if that might mean that some of my other autos, like sometimes when I add a Nick Van Exel auto to my PC, it kind of kicks one off of my PC, and then I end up selling it, so I'm going to have to eventually decide. Look at this one. This is also Color Blast for the Indiana Colts. Zaire Franklin and Latu. I might try to put that one up for sale. Well, it's not the football season anymore, but those cards are having a hype moment when they came out, the double player ones. Larry Bird Phases. This is also kind of a rare card. It just looks, in some ways, it just looks like it could be any insert, but this insert is kind of a rare one. So hopefully that one does well. Here's another one for the PC. On-card auto, Nick Van Exel, numbered out of 49 from Impeccable. That's cool. And then Desmond Bain, Gold Wave. This one cost me like almost nothing. Desmond Bain, I feel like his cards are just so undervalued at this point. It's crazy. I don't know what he can do to make his cards more valuable unless his team just like really, really pops off, because he's really the third player on that team. But he's got to be the best or one of the best among the third best player on a team in the NBA. But from a hobby standpoint, that doesn't necessarily mean much. Let's see what we got here. This is a big one. This is the Stained Glass Erling Haaland case hit card. That's a big one. Look at this. Okay, it's in there with a bunch of others, but I think it's a bunch of others, or it's just extremely thick. Let's see. Oh, no, that's just one card. That is so thick. I didn't even know they made one touches of that size. I'm glad this came in a one touch. This is the Jarris Walker rookie from numbered out of 20 from Impeccable. And this has an entire ounce of silver in it. Look at how thick that is. Let me just compare that to like a regular card. Regular card thickness, this card's thickness. Look at that. That's crazy. That's so heavy. That's probably why this international package was more expensive. That is so cool though. I've been on these silver ounce cards a bunch of times and I never end up winning them. Okay, ooh. This is the single most valuable card in this entire batch. Gosh, I can already tell that it's not really gradable. I can see some issues up there. Kind of wanted to do grading though, because of its value, wanted to protect it. This is called the Grail. This is 6 of 9. The Grail. These are extra SSP, more rare than a case hit. Gosh, there's some issues right there too. Oh man. I mean, I got this for a lot less than its going price, but I can see with some of the edge issues why. I mean, this is the first one I see that just obviously has some issues. I don't know if I could see that in the picture or not, but I think I still would have bid up to what I bid, because my strategy for these in general, or the ones I'm trying to flip, is I rarely go over 50% of comps. I have to calculate when I calculate in the grades, or I mean the shipping and everything, then I rarely go over like maybe 60% of comps if I calculate everything in. Every once in a while I might go over that a bit if it's a card I really have a lot of belief in, but rarely do I go over. Here's another Dave Bing auto, numbered out of 25, Hall of Fame auto. Another Kaboom. Kabooms are cool. Erling Haaland, got more than one card in here too. What do we got? Oh, yeah, that's a big card. That's called the White Knight. That's right. Erling Haaland, White Knight from Obsidian. That's a case hit, as is this. Enzo Fernandez Knight moves. And here we go, another cool one. Jerry West auto from Obsidian. I don't necessarily like the more modern looking cards with the auto on it, but you don't have as much of a choice. I do like the way that they do it with Impeccable and National Treasures a little bit better for these vintage players. Like, I would like this card for a more modern player. I think it looks cool. For Jerry West, I feel like I would rather have something that doesn't look quite so modern, but it's still cool. It's still a Jerry West auto. Somebody's still going to want to buy it for a profit. John Smoltz auto. It's funny, he's in this picture, he's batting like a famous pitcher. And then there's two of these cards. These cards, these home field advantage cards, I feel like they're much cheaper than I thought they would be. Ronnie Mauricio, Jackson Churio, both rookies. They seem to me like, because these are case hits, they have a look like Downtown or like, what's the one in soccer, National Landmarks. They have a look like this sort of card, and they're just as rare, actually, I think, but they don't go for nearly as much at the moment. Jackson Churio, this should be a good one, I think, though. All right, and now we are on to our last little batch here. You can see most of these cards are raw. I think there's a graded card in here. There was one other graded card from that random company that I don't know who it is. So, you know, when I'm buying a CardHobby, that's just kind of the reality there in China. On CardHobby, there's not as many graded cards. It's just part of the reality. I don't think people do grading as much there. Here's a graded card, though. But this is another one of these companies that I don't know. It's a Chinese company. The grading company certainly looks similar to the, what's it called? What's that company that barely exists anymore? I can't even remember. Wow. This is the Downtown. So this is a Panini card. So it's unlicensed, but it is a Downtown. That's pretty cool. I haven't been counting as I'm going. I hope I got all of them. I'll have to double check later. So this is, I was telling you before, I do like this grading company as far as Chinese grading companies go. They are one that I would trust. So if I actually wanted to crack this and send it to PSA, I would trust that they're probably pretty accurate. They've been around for a long time. They became famous grading money, like old money and antiques and things like that, and then eventually shifted into the sports card world as well. But they seem, of the Chinese grading companies that nobody in the U.S. would know, so, this isn't going to help it to sell better being that it's in this grading company. But this is the one Chinese grading company that I would personally trust more. Elvin Hayes on card out of 25. Oh, that's cool. Gosh, I don't know if I'm going to keep that one. I have to see. I do have like I said before, I have a Hall of Fame auto PC, and that one is cool. I have to look at how much I spent on that one. I don't spend too much money on my own PC, so I have to see. This is a silver rookie of Wagner. All right, so that is everything. Just has the receipt in there. So I'm going to go through here in a little bit and just make sure I got everything, but nothing jumps out to me as far as I'm pretty sure I got everything. I've never had an issue with that. There was one time I didn't get a card, actually, but I ended up communicating with them, and they ended up solving the issue for me. And eventually, they ended up just shipping it to me for free. They originally were going to ship it to me in my next batch of cards that I bought, but then they forgot again. So then they just sent it to me for free. So I was fine with that. And the only other issue, one time I had an issue where there was a crack in a PSA label, where there was a crack in a PSA case that happened because of the shipping. And they were very fair about that one too. They reimbursed the cost of that card and then some, actually. So it was very fair, the way that they did it. So I've only had positive experiences with CardHobby so far. I mean, that's just my experiences. I can't say too much about the nature of the business beyond my experiences with it, but I've only had positive experiences with them up to this point. So I recommend them. If you ever do use CardHobby for yourself and you want to get them shipped from China to the US, you have to have a lot of patience. I mean, I started ordering these cards, I would say maybe 2 months ago at this point, probably 2 months ago. And then I ordered all of them and was bidding on auctions over a period of about a week. Putting in my bids for about 50% of comps, every once in a while a little higher, but 50% of comps generally. And most of the bids I made, I didn't win. I just expected not to for most of them, but then these ones did. So I've learned a little bit on what kind of cards I'm going to aim for. They're going to, you know, be able to do pretty well. I don't even bother with some certain types of cards anymore because I'm like, I know that one's going to sell for a lot. So, you know, I don't really aim for some cards, but these ones all did pretty well. I think I'm going to be able to make a bit of a profit on it. So again, I think the way I'm going to track this video into the future is, so right now I'm at like a $2,613.22 into the negative. I'll go through the process of what I decide to do with each of those and make some videos along the way and tracking it. You know, keep in mind, if I was doing this as a full-time job, I might be quickly trying to figure out how to just, boom, find buyers for these right away and just, we'll make some money quickly and move and move and move. That is not my reality. I have a full-time job and a busy one at that, plus I'm involved in the community in a lot of different ways. So I don't have a whole lot of time for sports cards in my life. So this is going to be an ongoing process of kind of tracking what I do when I get 47 cards like this, and what it eventually turns into in the end. So that's basically what this is going to be, the first video in that series. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one. Peace.